Howdy, back at it again with another one. Y'all ready for another one? I don't know what the right way to start these things is. I just want to keep making sure that I make one each day, right? Try to stay on task and just making stuff, which is the whole point of this video, right? And discussing a mental block that I overcame recently that I think is really important for everybody to overcome. Especially if you feel like you can't do something, or you've ever felt like the thing's stopping you whenever you do go try to do something. And yeah, it's connected to the idea of like trying to make things perfect to a sense, right? So the idea of just doing, just forgetting um, any grand scheme that you have in your mind, or trying to control life in any certain way and think that it's going to, you know, be that way. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that go out there and do it and like they lose their minds, uh, making the world go the way that they want it to go. But that's just not life, you know? Even in creative endeavors, or uh, really, I mean, just anything, right? But creative endeavors are very, very similar to life because everything is kind of just, you know, the spring of creation. So anyway, uh, yeah, I mean, so I'll tell you first, I guess, my experience and like what happened, and then how I've extrapolated this lesson, which I'm telling you is to just do things. Just if you have any idea of what you want to do, or you just even get an idea, a feeling, it's not even, yeah, because it's the idea sort of implies thinking, and thinking isn't so great. So if you get the feeling and you realize, wow, that's great, I'd love to do that. Boom, that's your cue. Just go do it. Just go do it. Don't think of anything else. Just go do. Um, but yeah. So lately, I've been trying to make, this album, this all this music, right? All this music stuff, and I haven't been able to like get myself to sit down and write. I just constantly keep. I'll sit down to start writing, right? And I'll go through like different chord progressions, different cadences and stuff, and start bouncing around ideas on like one chord or whatever, right? On melodies, and then I'll start getting somewhere, right? But then I just keep messing with the idea and keep playing with it, keep changing it into something else, keep changing it to something else, keep changing it to something else. And then eventually I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I'll just look something else up. And then I go watch another video and I get lost in another train of I wasn't ready, essentially, right? It becomes a whole, yeah, I'm not ready. I got to go learn something else, even though I know plenty. I know plenty at this point, right? And I feel very well equipped to go do this. It's the same thing that's happened with a lot of things in my life in general, honestly, is where like I'll be like, go write a book. I mean, there's nothing that you really need to go write a book. You just need to know something, and everybody knows something, right? Go write a book. But I'm like, I don't really know how to do that. And then even now, if I think about it, if I just went to go try to like sit down and write a book, maybe not now because I'm trying to tell myself to do this, um, but the first instinct is still to go and be like, no, maybe I should go, read how someone else starts a book. How does Stephen King start his books if I want to write like a fiction book, or how does how did Dale Carnegie go and start writing his books? I don't know, but that's how I used to go about things. How I've always gone about things my entire life is just researching the heck out of them, and then you know having the pieces come where they may. Uh, in my mind, right? At least I'm like, yes, I'll get all these things, all this knowledge will be absorbed, and then I will be perfectly ready to just be ready to go do this thing. And then the moment comes, and I sit there, and I can't start. And I don't know if that ever happens to you guys, but that's something that happens to me constantly. I constantly feel like I'm just not ready, right? I constantly feel like there's more to learn. I constantly feel like there's something that's like there's somebody that's better than me at it, that I can't make the vision that I see in my head, like those sorts of things. That's a big thing with this, right? This has been the thing that I've been fighting lately, right? Is that I have this idea for a really good scheme I have essentially for this whole life plan I've got. And there's a lot of moving pieces to it, and so I want to make something that I'd call a masterpiece, right, in my music. And so, yeah, I keep getting caught up in that, and I don't start. By now I could have written, who knows how many songs by now. It's been 2 years, right? So like, I've had at least the skills to write a song since the moment I picked up the guitar. My little sister showed me that, and I guess, kind of through spirit, while I was back home, she would pick up the guitar and she was just like, you know what, I'm gonna try to make a song, because she had her piano on the way. She was all enthusiastic. She was ready, and so yeah, she just went for it. And she was like making her own little song. She ended up making one, man. She really did. She made like a little two-step song, like it wasn't it's not, some freaking symphony or something, right? But it was a song. And that's it, man. Like, that's really all that you need. If you make something like that, uh that sets you off on the right course, right? Um that's your seed, essentially. And so that's what I want to talk to you about. And whenever I say just do, that's not the end of the conversation either, right? I want to talk to you about how it is that you overcome this blockage of seeing things that you want them to be some certain way, and then you want to, like, you seek some sort of power or some sort of omnipotent knowing to, like, be able to make something perfect and make something exactly as you see it and exactly what you're thinking. And to be honest, that thing doesn't even exist. Honestly, you just have a feeling. At least that's how it is for me. I don't know. At least for me, everything's sort of a feeling, right? And so I've got an idea of, like, what I want in these sorts of projects and these sorts of things and, like, my plans, right? But it's not exactly a grand laid out scheme like I thought it was, right? But in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, because the people that talk about manifesting goals and, like, those sorts of things, they tell you just visualize it, just visualize it. They're actually just telling you to make it, essentially, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, I gotta try to, like, see this whole thing in my mind, and I couldn't see it. And so I was getting hung up on that. I'm like, oh man, I can't see it. I don't know what's going on. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then I just stop, because where is there to go? So in that sense, the visualization people are right, because they're just telling you to go make the thing, right? But it's usually, in most people's minds, it's less high risk, less cost to you to just imagine it, right? Uh, and usually that works pretty easy with, like, other stuff that you actually, like, know really well, I guess. And I guess I'm kind of putting things together bare bones with my music deal, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, um, that's not how anything gets created. Everything gets created from the same way a plant grows, the same way we grew, right? Which is just a little seed. And so that's the way that it happens. It's just an impulse. You just do it. You just do it. And so that's what I mean whenever I'm hitting you with the Nike slogan out here. Hey, free sponsor. But yeah, whenever I say just go do it, I'm saying start. I'm saying put an impulse into your creative endeavor. And then from that creative endeavor, from that little seed that you send, right? And that's what people talk about with intention, right? Really, that's the first seed, and that's the thing that happens in your mind. But once you physically put it down, you've made it real, right? And so, yeah, if you want to go write a song, man, go put a beat. Just keep. There you go. That's a song. Counts. But I mean, is it the greatest song? Well, I mean, I guess you could make an argument that it's every single song we've got, but um, yeah, from there you can build onto it. From there, you've got a little seed that you can. Whoa, man, that thing's flashing on me. But from there, you've got a seed to work with. From there, that's your tree to grow. That's where your creativity can shine. That's where you can really start making something beautiful, right? Something amazing, something that has never existed before. And you don't know exactly what it's going to look like. The same way that you don't know exactly what a tree is going to look like when you plant it. You've got an idea because you've seen other trees, right? But you can't know because it's growing, right? It's growing. And while it's growing, you get to tend to it. And while you tend to it, that's how you direct the tree, right? That's how, real, like, super, I don't know, I'm talking like I know something. I'm just talking about, like, Minecraft trees, but that's how I'm assuming that's how landscapers actually, uh, get trees to do the things that they do. They cut off limbs to make them go in certain ways and all the other things. They're creating with the tree, right? But the tree is still growing, as everything does, as all creations happen. Everything just grows. So you have to send it, man. You have to send the impulse, and you just have to do it. Just do it, and then mold from there. Everything's a sculpture in that way. Everything's a sculpture in that way. And I mean, honestly, I've kind of always known that from drawing, but I lost that that sight in the same way I lost sight whenever I took, I let my mind take over everything, right? And I just thought I could think my way through the world and think my way out of everything, right? Uh, you can't do that. You just get stuck in your mind. You're just locked in, you know? That's not the way. That's not the way. And so, yeah, just another lesson in how the mind is pointless, really, in a certain extent. It's not pointless. It's not pointless. I lied. I lied. It's pointless if you don't know how to use it. It's pointless in basically every day-to-day action that you do, but in figuring stuff out, like when if you're like, I have this problem, and you sort it out, and then you just go do that, right? You just go do the thing, because obviously then you've made a plan, and then God laughs at plans, right? But it's the same thing, right? You've made this plan in your mind that it's a seed essentially, right? You don't know how it's gonna go down, so you just go do it, and you work with it and try to find your way to the thing that you want. Anyway, enough of that. That's my lesson for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Yeah, take care. I love you. Have a good day.